Mabuhay, Kapwatids! My name is Stephanie.
And my name is Imee, and welcome to the Babaylan Bruhas Book Club podcast.
We have come together in efforts to decolonize our minds, our bodies, and reconnect with spirit by ways of relation via conversation, of education, interpretation, and integration.
So, this is our invitation for you to join us on our journey as we discuss works from honored artists, authors, and thought leaders from the Filipinx diaspora. Quick disclaimer: we want to acknowledge that everyone is consciously where they need to be.
And we are not experts, but we are sharing our own unique lived experiences.
Hi, sis!
Hi, sis!
Maligayang Pasko!
Maligayang Pasko too.
Melikaliki Maka is the thing to say.
Hawaiian thing to say.
Yes.
I don't know how else to say Merry Christmas.
I don't. Merry Christmas. I don't know.
Merry Christmas. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. Happy holidays.
Happy holy days.
Happy holy days, everyone. This is our special holiday break.
Holiday. Oh, I should have worn my shirt. This is happy holidays.
Holla.
Holidays. Oh, yeah. Next time we should do ugly sweaters, but we got cute sweaters on today, so there's that.
Well, I have a black sweater, but I mean,
that's cute.
I still look cute. Yeah, still cute.
I have a half black. The Gemini came out. Cruella. She said Cruella.
Yeah.
Cruella.
Sis is cute turtleneck. It's a black and white situation, and I was like, "Oh, it's a Cruella moment." Okay.
Yes. Thank you. I love your necklace, sis. It's very beautiful.
Thank you.
Tell the folks about it.
It's a ling-lingo. It is actually, it's a symbol of fertility and creativity. So fertility, people think, oh, it's for having babies, but not necessarily. It's for creation, for creativity, for creating things, creatrix energy.
Yes.
So this is cast by the Ifugao tribe. And I think they are the ones that that's the origin, is the Ifugao tribe. So I got this from Vinta Gallery. Shout out to them. Yes.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
It looks like a womb, a vagina.
Yeah. That's probably why it's a creatrix situation, or a creatrix symbol. So yeah.
Sorry, my throat is like weird right now, but anywho, thanks all for being here. Thanks, sis, for being you. And you want to dive into our holiday edition?
Yes, Babaylan Bruhas.
Holidays.
Holla.
Oh my gosh, it's the end of the year, and I feel like this is the time where we all reflect on the year. And I can't believe we launched this thing like in January.
I know. That's crazy.
I don't know. I personally feel like it's been like there's been a lot of deaths, like, for me this year.
Yeah, there have been. There's been a lot of changes. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Oh my God. So that's kind of leading to like our discussion about holidays. And for me personally, with the work I've been doing personally, I recognize that there's multiple, like I mentioned this many times ago, like I'm an omnist. I believe that there's truth in many religions. And so sis and I were just talking about how there's different holy days to be all inclusive. And so thanks to google.com, and Herb Shibner, they list that December is not only about Hanukkah and Christmas. So there's 12 major religious holidays in December, apparently. That's recorded in this article. I'm sure there's more. But for example, like December 6th is a Christian holiday. December 8th is Rohatsu, which is Bodhi Day. That's Buddhist. Immaculate Conception, Hanukkah, which is December 10 to 18, Feast Day of Our Lady of Guadalupe, that's the 12th. So 12/12. Actually, I don't know if like you remember this, sis, but for me, like my parents were like super in Catholicism. Lady of Guadalupe is just another way to reference Mother Mary.
Oh, okay.
So 12/12 is really the day of Mary. December 16th, Posadas Navideñas. I can't say Spanish. It's Christian though. It's Hispanic Christian holiday. Commends Mary and Joseph's journey to Bethlehem.
Okay.
21st, as we all know, which is the Wicca pagan solstice.
Yes, the solstice.
Yeah.
Happy
25th is
Christmas.
26 is actually, Zarathustra, death of prophet Zarathustra. Mm-hmm. That's a Zoroastrian religion holiday. Unlike many of the other holidays in the month, Zoroastrians honor the death of their prophet Zarathustra, who founded Zoroastrianism, one of the world's oldest monotheistic religions. 27th is Feast of Holy Family. It's Catholic. 28th, Holy Innocents' Day, Christian. 31st is Watch Night.
Yeah, it is. Because you watch the clocks and you watch the ball drop.
Oh, that makes duh. Yeah, that's like it in a nutshell. There's many articles, again, probably many other religions, spiritual beliefs, but what are yours, sis? Do you have any traditions you grew up with, practice still?
So my spirituality has been evolving over the past couple years. A lot of the traditions were around the church. So there would be a Christmas service that we would attend. There would be a Christmas. I might do it again this year, but there used to be a Christmas Eve service that we went to at one of like a big giant church downtown. It had the organ and the choir and the like everything's like wooden and old and like huge cathedral ceilings. I like that kind of feel. I feel like I probably was a nun in another lifetime because that sort of cathedral feeling just speaks to me.
Really?
So, yeah. Yeah, it does. It does.
Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're a nun in a past life.
Maybe. Yeah. And then what else we would do? And then sometimes Christmas Day, our church would have a small service. So if we had time, we would go to there. So that's like the religious traditions. But now, we are free. I am free to set my own. I'll probably acknowledge the solstice this year with the family. And of course we always do Christmas Day because family and the kids are so excited. Yeah. So we'll do that. But my favorite holiday in December is actually December 31st. My favorite holiday is New Year's.
Really? Tell us why.
I just love the idea of like every day is a new day, right? But I just love the energy and the feeling in the air. People are like, so hopeful sometimes. But I mean, like there's this idea of, there's this idea of I get to start new. I get to have goals. So it just feels a little bit like the energy of the world of people is kind of like looking forward with like hope, like, okay, I'm going to do this XYZ, or even if they don't set goals, it just feels like a reset. And I love a good reset. Like it just feels like reset. Right. So I think I just love New Year's Eve. It's just fun. I mean, no matter what we're doing, we've done plenty of things. Like back in the day, we used to go clubbing on New Year's Eve.
Oh, Vern, you were hardcore.
Yeah, but now we were just like stay home with the kids and like play games and whatever with the fam.
Oh, I know.
So
You know what? I went to Vegas for New Year's. That was, I will never do that again. That was an experience in your 20s, you just get out your. Mm-mm.
yeah, you just that's what you do. So, but
Yeah.
anyway, how about you? What have been your traditions, religious traditions? What will you do this year, do you think?
Yeah. It's interesting you bring up like you think you're a nun in past life.
Mhm.
My mom is definitely a nun in a past life, and like if she wasn't married and had children, she would be a nun. Because my grandparents put her through school, like a Catholic school. It's like Saint Scholastica. It's like one of the biggest um, spiritual colleges in the Philippines. Um, my mom was very like rehearsed, and then when she came here, that was her way of connecting back to the motherland, right? Finding Kapwa at church,
Mhm.
because it was such a culture shock for her. So growing up, like my house, like Christmas was always it was like full of like church events, and it still is. Like once Thanksgiving hits, like they're preparing for caroling, they're preparing for Simbang Gabi, like Simbang Gabi, we definitely like celebrated that. Like I tried to do the 9 nights. So Simbang Gabi means church at night. And in the Philippines, it's so big, right? Because there's all the paroles and all the
Yeah.
I forgot my parole. I wanted to bring it. Um, but like 9 days before, you go to church at 5 a.m. And I tried to do that when I was in college. Because the thing is, if you go all 9 nights, you make a wish, it'll come true.
Oh, wow.
And so I love that you're bringing up clubbing, because again, this is past life Stephanie. I used to club a lot. And and the one night, like, because it was like I'm in college and I was home and for the holidays, what's there to do? Like 20, I'm not working yet. I mean, I could have been, you know what I'm saying? But I would go to the club, and I was trying to get over a heartbreak too. Of course, you wouldn't want to go dance and boost your ego a little bit, right?
Right.
With your girls.
Right.
Take that chakra, right?
Yeah.
So we'd go out, and like I'm like an hour from the city, and we drive back. Like we probably like go to the club, like leave, go eat, come
Yeah.
back.
You got to eat after the club.
Girl, I know when I had that metabolism, because I'm like, how did I eat like that? Anyway,
That's
so I'd get home at like 4-ish, and then church would be at 5. So I'd be awake, and I would just go straight to church.
Wow.
I would smell like alcohol. It was kind of grimy at this point. But anyway, the one night we fucking went clubbing. It was probably like the third night in a row. Okay, we went like 2, 3, sometimes even 4 nights in a row. Like it's bad. Like, we're in our 20s. We had the energy. I can't even do one now. Okay. I need like a month prep, and I need a couple of days to recover after.
Oh my gosh. We just like at the end of July. Okay, this is a rabbit trail, but at the end of the July, we went out with my sister-in-law and brother-in-law. They got like a party bus, and we were like gonna go downtown. We were gonna like relive like the days back back in the day. So why did I had to take a nap at 4. That was my pregame. Before pregame is like shots at the house, so you don't like drink too much pay too much. Now it's like sleep,
nap.
I need to meditate and sage, set my boundaries. Right?
Ooh, because it's a lot of. Listen, when you walk into a bar and you're like there, and you're like, okay, I'm ready to go home. Like that's when you're getting over the clubbing hump. Like, yeah, you get in a club and you're like, yeah, party. Like either you prepped mentally, for me personally, enough, or like you're still in that. You need to get out your system.
Right. So younger Steph would go clubbing and then go to Simbang Gabi.
Yes, the one night that we went home early because it was like tiring. I went home at like 3 a.m. instead of 4, and I laid my head down. Girl, I woke up at like 5:05, and I was like, fuck. and I had to drive like 10 minutes to church. So I haven't been able to, like, I tried, while I was like, I graduated college, I was working, and I would only do like 7 days at most.
Yeah.
Like,
well, that's a lot of church. That's a lot of church at night.
Let me tell you. And my mom would be like, we're sponsoring the breakfast. You have to come. Like, you have to come. And then the food after, talk about like adding to holiday weight gain, because it has all the, Filipino foods.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So what will you do this year? Will you participate in Simbang Gabi or?
Yeah, good. Thanks for asking that, sis. I mean, COVID has shaped the way church happens now, because especially Catholic church, they wouldn't do virtual, and because COVID happened. So, but they're doing church like now, like 8 p.m. They don't do it at the 5 a.m. anymore because it's too, I don't know, hard or whatever.
You're like, where was that at when I was 20?
Girl, I know, but I still can't make it because I work.
Oh, okay.
I get off like, I think church is at 7 at night. Yeah. And I'm like, that works for a 5 p.m. shift, but I work midday. So yeah, I mean, I just be bruhaing or connecting where I can, like at home or, that's where I try to show up. I've kind of transitioning to like how my parents have asked me about my practice. Like my dad had made a comment. I think I may have shared this in one of the episodes, like, you don't even go to church anymore, like trying to shame me. Right. And, I don't know if it was like the good Lord or like the divine coming through, but I was like, Daddy, respectfully, like worry about your soul and I'll worry about mine. And I remember his face like was just like, okay, like,
yeah,
stop. And I was like, cool,
That's on boundaries though.
Yeah. So family and friends during the holidays. This brings us to our second things we wanted to cover, sis.
Yeah, we just wanted to talk about and invite y'all to think about too, as we head into the holiday season and, Christmas, New Year's, etc., whatever your holy days are, how to interact, how to set boundaries with old friends that you might see that you don't always see, or family that you don't always see, or even your parents. And a lot of us, I mean, I'm going to assume, since you're tuning into something called Babaylan Bruhas, that you are decolonizing your spirituality. And there may be things that you are now into that you weren't into maybe 2 or 3 years ago when, Tita, whoever talked to you, right? And so how do we lovingly enter into or not enter into conversations, and how do we protect our own boundaries, and just kind of think about how to protect our own energy while staying true to ourselves, right? So I know for a lot of us that that's why the holidays can be a little bit anxiety driven. It could be hold a lot of anxiety for people because of relationships and because of family relationships or going back home, right? So we just kind of wanted to talk about that between Steph and I, but then also invite you all to think about that as well, and consider how you can enter into this holy day season with integrity and boundaries, and also love for yourself and for other people. So yeah, but like that was a perfect example of a boundary, saying, Dad,
mind your soul. Lovingly, Dad.
Yeah,
I know he has intentions. I feel like that's the challenge that comes from being in this generation of questioning, practices that in Catholicism, Christianity is ancient too. And like we're going past that now from what I perceive, like personally, like pre-colonial, like
right.
So a lot of folks are Filipinx, even not like just wondering, like, I wonder, like, I want to know, like, what did my ancestors do when it was winter solstice? Like, I know it's Wicca pagan, but like, what did they do in the Philippines?
Well, yeah. And I'm sure they did something because they looked at the sky, they looked at the stars as well. They
Right.
understood the seasons and the cosmos and everything. So, yeah, that'd be interesting to know. So, um, so do you personally have any anxiety coming into the holidays, or how will you um
Mm. That's a great question. So I, the work I've been doing to like remember who I am and be rooted in that. I've lost, I wouldn't say lose, positioned, friendships and familial ties. There are probably some people who think I'm crazy or think like,
you're going to hell?
yeah, right. I am not though.
No.
Or that's not up to them to decide, right?
Exactly.
So I think like that's where the anxiety comes of trying to remain connected to the divine and
Mm.
calling in like guidance and believing in that vibration of love. Like my intention, being a curious person, and it's just like it. I can't really like word blah right now, but answer your question, yes, I have some anxiety about folks, but I've also recognized that part of being in that integrity of love with myself is for me to then be able to bestow that to others, like to meet them where they are and to accept that where they are is where
Yeah.
they want to be, and that doesn't have to affect me. It can in many ways, right?
Yeah.
But it does it have to through kind of whatever complexities y'all's or even myself will go through, like, or have been going through. I always try to remember choice, like wait a minute, like I can decide if this is going to bother me or not, and if it does bother me for a little bit, like I transmute my feelings. So and there's energy work involved, absolutely, and like mental
Yeah.
guidance.
Yes. Yes, definitely energy work before and after.
What are your energy practices, sis? What do you
Uh,
provide?
so before I go into it, into a potentially uh anxiety driven situation, like with family or whatever, I call my power back, clean and clear and whole from wherever it has been hanging out. I call it back to me so that when I walk into the space, I'm fully in myself and fully in my power.
Mhm,
And then
mhm,
afterwards, I do the same thing again, and I
mhm.
cleanse, I smudge, I
Yeah.
burn some guava leaves. And if it's the energy was particularly heavy or something, that is just not aligned, I'll usually meditate just for 2 or 3 minutes or whatever, just breathing and grounding. But when I'm in the situation, I that is what I'm still working through. So our family has a lot of I love everybody there. So I don't want to be confrontational. However, there are a lot of people who are people that I love be confrontational sometimes. And so there have been times where I have to literally take myself out of the room to protect
Mm,
my boundaries. And I've
mhm.
had to like take out the shame and the guilt for like, well, you didn't say such and such or whatever, right? Or like you didn't stand up for, I don't know, whatever. But like sometimes 2 or 3 people are having a conversation and I'm not part of that conversation, but the energy is there, right? Over here, talking about things that I just don't agree with. And so I have to remove myself from that situation. And I don't confront, because that's my boundary, right? Because they're not talking to me, so I'm not going to go up and be like, what the fuck are you talking about, right?
Yeah.
So that's my boundary in the midst of everything. And if it's too much, like I've learned to say as much as I can, but if it's too much, I'll walk away, because I get caught. My throat chakra closes because I get angry.
Yeah.
You know that feeling that's like that, and then I get
up.
Yeah. So I need to go walk away and just breathe and remember that love is due.
I apologize.
It's okay.
Zeus. Oh, there's like 3.
Zeus agrees. Zeus agrees.
Zeus endorses this. Take your sweet time. Oh, I know, friend. Okay. Hey. Dogs going dogs. Hey. Zeus, come here.
Shh, come here. Halika na.
Quiet.
Quiet, huh?
No, my grandpa would be like, he would give me that eye. That was his way of like boundaries. Like, I'm gonna follow you.
You want follow?
I know, which is low key abusive, but you know,
not low key. That's like just regular key abusive.
He never hit me though. He did the warning eyes. My grandmothers hit me. They spanked me.
Yeah, so did my mom. She'd be like a ninja about it. Like all of a sudden, she'll just reach for whatever. She'll take off her chinelas, like chinelas or like rice spatula, whatever, broom, whatever she had in her.
Oh girl, no, I had a spank corner. Like,
oh,
I got belt a lot.
Oh, I did too.
We okay. We turned out okay.
I just have to go to therapy. No big deal.
But I know Zeus, right? Everybody and they doggy is walking right now.
So that's what I do.
That's what you do.
That's what I do in the moment.
And I want to like highlight, like, that's really powerful to extricate yourself. It takes a lot of courage and bravery to walk away. Because a lot of times when we get offended, like some of us go into fight, flight, and freeze moment. And for me, that happens a lot. So I'm like, what do I do? Like, how do I move through this?
Yeah. And I've had to work through telling myself that to be gentle, because then I would walk away from that situation and then come home and then just be so angry with myself that I didn't say such and such, or, you know, feeling a lot of shame or guilt that, oh, I could have said this, or I could have said that. Why aren't you speaking up? Why, you know, like, why did you let that moment pass? But sometimes like something is said and you're shocked and like, you don't really know what to say. For me, that's how it is. Like you press pause and then somebody presses play and it's like 3 minutes into the conversation and it's like, oh my God, what are we talking about now? And it's like, it feels too late to
it's a lot.
Yeah.
It's hard to stay present. And that's the purpose of us all gathering, right? To be present. So, you know, kind of the invitation to figure out how to stay embodied.
Yeah.
Say you call your power back. Maybe you need to go in the other room and extricate. I'm wearing more lapis lazuli lately, just to protect my throat chakra.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yes.
Yeah, have your protective amulets on if that makes you feel armored
and supported.
Yeah, have your sprays, have your essential oils, your plant allies, drink some tea. Fucking, if you gotta go away and like scream, you know, like whatever you gotta do. I think that collectively, what I've observed is a lot of people are just not in their bodies. We're learning how to do that and how to do it consistently. And so it's finding your way in your practice that is what these holidays are going to be about, especially like, you know, we had a whole year about political controversy, you know, like the jab, the non-jab.
Yeah.
You know, the social part of it. You know, people are going to talk about comparisons and, you know, there's always family drama, right? At some capacity, people don't talk about, especially in Asian, so passive.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think just remembering, yeah, like you said, you're a sovereign being. You have a right to decide who gets into your bubble. If you feel like a lot of some people's energies are very strong and they can be in your bubble because of whether you're very much attached to them or you care about what they think, or there's some type of emotional, you know, cord there. Like part of what I've observed to draw boundaries is to recognize like you're gonna have moments where you're like, fuck, like,
yeah,
I could have said that differently. So I think it's just remembering consistently that call your power back, like you said, like stay in your body, like stay in your body. Like I would do tapping too, just to check in. Like, am I in my heart right now? Deep breathing.
Yeah.
You can even tell verbally, like I told my dad, like, we don't need to talk about this. Like it's something else. So
yeah.
Boundaries. It's a good book too to read.
Yeah, the Boundaries book for sure. And there are a lot of also resources online. I know you and I were just talking about the holistic psychologist on Instagram and Therapini, Dr. Therapini. They have posts about like boundaries, etc.
Yeah. How to deal with your family with decolonizing conversations and stuff.
Yeah, it's I will say like with with my husband's family, there's like there are a lot of us. There's a lot of people. So it's easy to remove myself from a conversation and go have a conversation with someone else that's not as heated or not as heavy for me. But I know that with my family, it's just me and my parents. So that's a little bit more difficult for me to stay in my body and not have a trauma response. Yeah. And because my father tends to be very confrontational. So if you set a boundary, he pushes. He asks why. He just keeps pushing the boundary. So it's exhausting as well. So that's another thing. Like make sure you take care of yourself before and after. After, like, just be kind to yourself, be gentle if things like that trigger you or make you zap your energy. Just call your power back and then be kind to yourself. Sleep, eat something warm and cozy,
grounding. It's almost like you got to take an emotional or a like shower after you hang out with people that drain your energy. Even if you go to the store, like the shopping malls right now, like I went into like TJ Maxx the other day, and I was like, there's hella people here, and like you know, workers are kind of short, and so everyone's asking for support, and you could tell who's like in a hurry and not, and it's like, I don't want to feel their anxiety. So
and for me, like I pick up on everyone's there to consume, right? So it just even more so, like intentionally, they're there to intentionally consume. Because sometimes you go into the stores and people are just like, oh, I'm gonna pick up
window
this,
shopping.
that. But like in the holiday season, people are intentionally consuming a bunch of things. And so I can get caught up in that energy if I'm not aware. And I find myself just like buying shit I wouldn't buy. Like, why am I buying that? Right?
You need to bring a friend and be like, do you need that?
Yeah.
Just call me.
Yeah, I was gonna say I can FaceTime you.
Like, sis, do I need this blanket? Do you got the blankets?
You'll be like, "Ooh, it's cute though."
No, right? I'll be like, that looks that looks like it's activating the tribal or like like it's ancestral recognition.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Anyway,
But
so
yeah.
that is the conversation to invite yourself into. And honestly too, like there are things to be said about, like, if you are in a relationship with toxic people, perhaps you should think about drawing even a
Going.
hard bound about
You
not
don't
going.
have to go. You
You
don't
don't
have
have to
to
go.
go.
Yeah.
You can even arrange like I think it's like the invitation to evaluate what's your capacity, you know?
Yeah.
So
And yeah, you're going to piss people off, but you're going to disappoint your parents. But you know what? You're going to disappoint your parents at some time. At one point in your life, you're just going to disappoint somebody. And it's okay, because if it's their deal, right? And I'm not trying to minimize the hurt, because it hurts when like people you love don't understand you or have a negative reaction to who you are. Like, this is who I am now. This is my essence. This is not just who I am now. This is who I'm being more of myself than I ever have been. And then to have someone like react negatively, it hurts a little bit, you know? So
yeah.
and just
Yeah.
recognizing that, and that's okay to honor that and respect that as well. So
Yeah. It's okay. You're not alone.
yes, that one you're not alone, Kapwatid, for sure.
Yeah. But you know, we wish you a happy holy day season.
Yes,
I'm sorry, I don't know if you feel complete, sis.
I do. I feel very complete.
And we just wanted to thank you for sticking with us all these months. We have some exciting things coming soon. It'll probably be out by the time this rolls out.
Yes, speak it out.
Should we? No, not yet. Okay.
Not yet. Wink, wink.
Yes. But thank you for, just supporting this project for me and Sister Imee's, Ates, Manangs, Titas. It's been a crazy year, and there's only more to come. So wherever you are, I hope that you're finding the support, not only from community, but within yourself, because everything you need is always there within you.
Yes.
And maybe connect with a healer if you feel like you're having some blocks. Because I believe, I have confidence that you can find it.
Yes.
So
yes. And so we just bless you as we end out 2021. And thanks for rocking with us. And there will be more in 2022, baby.
I know, two.
All right. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Bye.
Bye.
That one was good. I felt it. Did you feel it? I felt it. Okay.
Yay.